This is an example of rotation at the hip, which includes the piriformis and the quadratus femoris. This is involved in getting on a bike. In this model, this piece, white piece here, represents the femur. This piece here represents the piriformis muscle, and this piece here represents the quadratus femoris. The piriformis originates at the sacrum and inserts at the greater trochanter of the femur. The quadratus femoris originates at the ischial tuberosity and inserts at the posterior proximal side of the femur. Now, as you can see, as the femur is stable and not in its natural position, these muscles are relaxed. But as the femur rotates away from the body, these muscles contract. This is a demonstration of abduction, which is moving an extremity away from the midline. For our action of getting on a bike is first reaching one leg over the seat so that you can straddle the bike. Here in this demonstration, this white piece is representing the femur. This piece here represents the gluteus medius and the gluteus minimus muscles. And this piece here represents the piriformis. The gluteus muscles originate at the dorsal side of the ilium and insert at the greater trochanter of the femur. This piece here, which is the piriformis, it originates at the sacrum and inserts at the greater trochanter of the femur. As you can see here, when the leg is brought closer to the midline or adducted, these muscles are relaxed, and then as the femur abducts away from the midline, the muscles contract. This is an example of flexing the thigh, which is involved in getting on a bike. Here in this model, this piece here represents the femur. This piece here represents the iliacus, which originates at the iliac fossa and inserts at the lesser trochanter of the femur. This piece here represents the psoas major, which originates at the lumbar vertebrae and inserts at the lesser trochanter of the femur. Now, when the thigh is in neutral or extended position, these muscles are relaxed. But when the thigh flexes, these muscles contract. Extension, flexion. This is an example of extending the thigh, which is involved in getting on a bike. Here in this model, this piece here represents the femur. This piece here represents the gluteus maximus, which originates at the iliac crest and sacrum and inserts at the iliotibial tract and femur, which on the posterior proximal side. So now when the femur is flexed, this muscle is relaxed. But as soon as it extends, the muscle contracts. This is an example of the action of the rectus femoris with respect to the two joints that it crosses at the hip and knee. So here's the model. This roll of paper here represents the femur. The roll in my right hand represents the tibia. The red here represents the rectus femoris, which originates at the anterior inferior iliac spine of the ilium, and then inserts at the tibial tuberosity of the tibia through the patellar ligament. Now, as you can see here, the rectus femoris is relaxed when the knee is extended, and then as the knee flexes, the rectus femoris contracts. And then once the knee extends once again, it relaxes. This is an example of the hamstring group with respect to its attachments in the joints that it crosses at the hip and knee. All three of the muscles, which include the biceps femoris long head, the semitendinosus, and the semimembranosus, originate at the ischial tuberosity and insert at the medial side of the tibia, or the medial condyle of the tibia. In this model, the white roll on the left represents the femur, and the white roll on the right, or the white roll on the right represents the tibia. The red here on the bottom represents the muscle. As you can see here, the thigh or the knee is extended at this point, which is contracting the hamstring group. As the knee flexes, the hamstring group relaxes, and then once the knee extends again, the hamstring group contracts.